Hey, this is Charles Onyett with IGN, and I'm checking out Guild Wars 2, and what I'm going to do in this video is create a Sylvari character, a Guardian specifically, that is the profession type I tend to prefer, and then go through some of the early starting content for their zone to show off kind of what the race looks like. It's kind of the elf, I guess if you want to call it that, equivalent in the Guild Wars 2 fantasy, except they're kind of made of trees, which we'll see in a second here. I'll go with a female version. And here you can just see the profession selection screen where you can pick from 8 different professions. Necromancer, Thief, you can see different styles of outfits. They almost have a cat-like kind of appearance. But they are, as you can see, heavy on the plant motif. They have leaves for hair, and actually all over this specific armor set here. I'm going to go over to, there's Warrior. You can see, again, the same kind of style, and Guardian. And again, you see this very leafy, and it's actually shaking the armor sets. So I'm going to go over to the customization and customize some of the features of this character. There you can see my armor set changed to something slightly more normal. But of course, like with the other races, you can adjust body type, physique to different levels of thinness or thickness, depending on what you want your character to look like. Different skin patterns here, so you can see on the arms there's a bit of a leaf pattern there as well, and you can see there are branches actually sticking out of this character's head along with leaves alongside them. So you can adjust the different styles of patterns you'll see on the arms. I don't know if that's just going to get covered up later on in the game anyway by armor sets and things like that, but I'll go with the darker one. So for head options, you don't have to have giant branches sticking off the back of your head if you don't want to. You can go with a leaf ponytail, because naturally that's how you style leaf hair, is just into a ponytail. And it actually doesn't look like there's a scrunchie there or anything. It's almost like a branch, I guess, a branch ponytail. So it's a hardened ponytail that sticks back into kind of a leaf, the actual tail part of that. But yeah, a bunch of different hairstyles. I don't know what is coming out of the reeds or something is coming out of the head here. There you go, I guess more leafy, a little bit more traditional, I guess, in the Sylvari sense. Some spikes, in case you want to be a little bit more punk. This is the punk Sylvari. They also have, if you can see here on the ears, they also have little tiny leaves sticking out of their ears. That has to be a little bit uncomfortable. It doesn't actually look like they have holes in their ears to permit any kind of sound waves. They're just kind of a chunk of wood sitting there. So maybe I'm just not familiar enough with the fiction to understand how they hear in that regard. I guess I'll go with this, the equivalent of a short, spiky haircut. And try for some different face types here. You can adjust these. Let's see if there's some other types. Here we go. Variety of types that look like kind of warped wood. We've got some extra little grassy spikes or wooden spikes coming off the front of the face here. I'll go with this one. That looks a little bit more pleasant, a little less painful, I guess, to endure. And I guess you can change the ear style as well. This hairstyle isn't particularly well suited for that, but you can turn it into a variety of different types. This is just a knot of wood. I guess I'll stick with this one. That looks like it makes a little bit more sense, more elf-like, I suppose. And head into the face details, where you can adjust eyebrow placement, all these different sliders to do a lot of customization on your appearance so that you can be sure you have the character that you really want. I don't know if I'm going to do much tweaking of these sliders. And ear customization. Let's see how much an effect that has. Oh, it's quite an effect. You get upward or downward pointed ears with this one. And yeah, some more sliders there, and then you can dye your armors at the start of the game, depending on your color scheme. I happen to like red and black, or gray in this case, so you can do that for upper, lower, footwear, and shoulders. And then what you do is you go into the decisions that you need to make up front that kind of affect the opening cinematic and some factors beyond that about how you kind of want your character's personality to develop. So I'm going to stick with, let's go ferocity, just because I dreamed of a quest that calls me to action. It was a vision of the White Stag, Shield of the Moon. I'm going to go with Green Knight. That sounds pretty interesting, so let's stick with that. I believe the most important teaching of Ventari's... I believe the most important of Ventari's teachings is... I like that. That's a good mantra. Act with wisdom, but act. Call to action there. And Cycle of Dusk, Cycle of Noon. Noon is pretty boring and actually generally uncomfortable. Night, maybe a little too dark. Not a big fan of dawn because it means I have to go to work. I like dusk. Dusk seems like the most interesting aspect there, so I will select that. And then name my character here on this contract. And off I go to the opening cinematic, which I'm actually going to skip, and I'm just going to get directly into kind of the first mission area right when you start the game with a Sylvari character. So here I am in the very beginning area for the Sylvari. They kind of start out in this dream state, so I'm not actually in the main world yet. And like every race, you do sort of get this very brief kind of introductory segment to get you used to the combat mechanics, to, you know, if you want to test out rolling around backwards and forwards, you can do so left and right as well. That's actually governed by a resource right here that recharges pretty rapidly. And then also learn a few attacks based on the weapon you have equipped. Each weapon in Guild Wars 2 has a different skill set associated with it, and it's not all unlocked initially, so I'm just unlocking my third attack on my mace here. So I have a little bit of a weapon set, but I mean the enemies aren't incredibly challenging or anything like that, so I should be fine with what I have. And like all of the other race starting areas, you do fight or at least the ones I've played, you do fight kind of a gigantic enemy in the middle. You can see him kind of lying down here, but I do have an event going on where I need to defeat these Nightmare Hounds first. We're kind of running around in the zone. There's one of them, so I will go plant a symbol on the ground as a guardian and knock them out. Oh, there, I just learned my third skill, which I can set up. Oh, they hit me, so it triggered. And here we go. Alright, so this guy is pretty serious business here. A tree dragon who has invaded my nightmares, and I must dispatch here very early game. Very intimidating target early on, but they're not all that challenging. I can target his paw here. I'm definitely going to stay out of the way of whatever he's spitting out in front there and just kind of attack his arm and see how much success I can have with this. In terms of what my attacks are right now, this symbol of faith is on my number 2, and it smashes a symbol into the ground, which gives kind of me and anything in the area a whole bunch of buffs, and serves as a combo field, so if other people were firing attacks through there, other players, it would combo with that field, and so you'd get additional effects there. That's a cool part of the combat that, well, I can't really show off right now, but it's that once you learn all the different combo fields and how different attacks affect each other, presents some interesting situations when you're in groups and you want to achieve cooperative effects that take down enemies and let you survive longer with an enhanced effect aside from what you're able to do on your own. I've almost got him down to 0 health here. He seems to be beating me up. He's throwing plants all over the place, and there's little summons coming in on the side here. I'm just going to ignore them and see if I can take him out. He's almost dead.
It is finished. The dream is safe from this present next to you. See each other again.
Where am I? I was fighting a great evil. Are we safe? Keith? Where is Keith?
Steady, sapling. You just woke. You were calling out in your dream. Keith was just here, but she had to go speak to the Pale Tree.
She and I fought side by side against a poison in the dream. I saw the shadow of a terrible dragon, and I felt the dream call upon me to defeat it.
By the tree. A wild hunt so soon, and such a momentous task. To be a valiant of the wild hunt is a difficult charge. Bear this calling with pride.
I will. But how do I begin? One does not simply awaken and rush off to face a dragon.
You start here in our forest. There were others hurt in the dream. They could use your help. Besides, it'll be fine training for a new valiant.
So clearly the dream there was an indicator of my larger quest goal, and actually once I come out of there, as my quest reward, I can pick an offhand. I'm going to go with a shield. Since I'm a guardian, I'm kind of more of a defensive type. I also seem to be missing an armor set. I just kind of fell out of the tree, so I need to go get some clothes. That's kind of priority 1 right now.
Seize the moment.
And there we go. I now have some armor, so I can survive a little bit longer, and I'm going to open my menu and equip that shield, and you'll see I'll get some additional skill options over here. These are attached to the shield as an offhand, so I only get 2. Oh, and it looks like I need to restart my game here, so I will be right back with more of this. Okay, so now I'm just heading out to do my initial questing here, and you can see this area is actually quite pretty. I really like the look of the starting zone of the Sylvari here. And I'll interact with my first quest giver, but yeah, I'll continue to do sort of pans of the environment as I go, including these sort of giant flowers, and you can see this zone develop as you continue to move around from down here in the beginning to as you go across the expanse of the main zone there, which I have not actually explored yet, which is why it's kind of fuzzy.
Welcome to Astoria. As you journey forth into the unknown, know that you are not alone. Seek guidance from those who make their homes here, and help them in a time of need. The path ahead is yours to choose.
So yeah, this is just basically showing off how questing works in Guild Wars 2. You don't necessarily accept go kill X whatevers that are standing over here. You find quest givers that are these hearts that are just kind of standing around, and you just do things around them to earn their favor, and it lets you buy more things, but you don't actually have to specifically accept a quest to do it. As long as you're in the area, you'll be able to do it, which is a nice system. It cuts down on hassle and just lets you kind of run around and do whatever you want, whenever you want. So I'm going to go show that off right now and head kind of out of this initial area over to one of those quest givers and see if I can gain their favor and then continue on in the main quest. There's also a Sylvari main city, which hopefully I should be seeing pretty soon. And what you just saw pop up here was an event, and these will happen all across the game world. Not just sort of whenever you're wandering around, and you can take part in them, like with the quest givers, just by approaching the area and starting to do things. So you can cooperate with other players without necessarily needing to group up or specifically accept a quest. You can see it's just kind of in my log up here. I'm not going to do that right now, however, and I'm going to proceed north towards a quest giver up here and see if I can sort of take care of business. Let's see if there's another event happening in this area. Not from the looks of things, but you can see... Oh, I just got attacked by somebody. The quest giver up here is right here, and I just actually activated a waypoint, and by doing that I can go back to my main map and click on other waypoints and pay a small fee and be instantly transported around. So it's an easy way to get around zones very quickly. There's no cooldown on that, just the small in-game currency charge. Okay, so I've almost filled up the bar entirely here in order to win this NPC's favor. So I am just going to duel with this ranger standing here. I will gladly fight you. And a nice polite bow, and then we're going to hit each other with weapons of medieval cruelty. Drop a symbol on the ground, give me some health back, and just dead. And so there, I've completed... Oh my goodness, there are a lot of things blowing up on my screen right now. I got a nice XP bonus down there, I got some mail, and I now have the favor of this NPC. You can see on my map my heart is filled in, and I can actually go over here.
Stay alert.
and buy some new stuff, although I don't quite have enough funds for it, but I could buy a new mace here. Let's see if I happen to get any in any of this mail. Take that. I did not, unfortunately. So I can't buy this fancy new mace. But if I were to buy the mace, I would then go into my inventory here, and oh, actually, part of my gear is actually busted right now, but yeah, I would just equip that right here, and I would get the associated statistical bonuses. So what that has done by gaining favor with that NPC is unlocked the next story mission, and actually to get over there faster, I'm just going to teleport over here. And this is the quick travel system so that you can get around maps, around places you've previously explored very quickly, and I'm almost into the main city for the Sylvari, which is really, really cool looking, actually, which you'll see as soon as I'm able to hop through this portal. So here we go. This is the Grove, and this is the main town for the Sylvari. It looks pretty pedestrian, I guess, in this area. Pretty nice, but nothing crazy going on so far. Just some really nice windows. Somebody spent a lot of time on those. But here's the big feature, is this giant tree that's sitting in the middle of the city. And if you... Here, I'll get beyond these arches. But if you look at it, you can see it's actually moving up there. And you see these nice little details with animals flying around. But yeah, these leaves are swaying back and forth. And there's a really interesting kind of transit system here as well. As you can see, these kind of pods that are floating around. I can take one of those, and they serve as elevators in this world. So I'm going to hop in this one and head down to the questing area. Here we go. I get a little cutscene where I jump into my surprisingly intelligent pod here for transport and jump out at the bottom, and I should be able to head right into my first story mission. This also goes into the bottom section of the city. You can see the luminous bottom on this pathway. Just a lot of really nice detail here, and it continues a trend of the main cities in Guild Wars 2 just having an incredible amount of detail to them and a lot of thought put into making a really interesting presentation. Anyway, I'm running in circles. We'll go to the quest giver now. Actually, this is for gear repairs.
With wisdom.
Great. Yep, I'm going to need that. So I'm going to head into this instance. It's recommending level 3 on level 2. That's fine. I should be able to make it through. In fact, I have before, so I'm pretty confident in this working.
I knew we'd meet again, young Valiant.
You know that because you saw it in the dream. What else do we dream that comes true?
Much, but not always what you might expect. Why? Is something troubling you?
Somewhat. In my dream, a champion in brilliant green armor defeated all challengers. He seemed invincible, yet a small mouse nipped at his heel.
Gahedens, you are born of dusk, like this Valiant. Can you interpret the vision? I see both literal and symbolic images here.
I'll try. When you saw this champion, did you feel frightened? Angry? Did you...
Help! Somebody help me! That brute is killing my beloved! Stop him!
What? Where? Show me!
The trouble's this way, Valiant.
Okay, so it seems like there's trouble. Maybe this will tie into the Green Knight. I don't know. And in case you've been watching this so far, you've probably seen the work in progress emblems up at the top of the screen during the cutscenes. This is not a final version of the game, so it is in development, which is why you're seeing that.
Enough. Victory is yours.
Just something to keep in mind.
Just let him live.
live? This sapling accepted my challenge.
Oh,
and failed.
Bersalak.
His life is forfeit.
Please, Dagdar, go and leave me. I'll kill you too if you stay.
You're a monster, Bersalak. I won't let you do this. I won't live without my beloved.
So be it. As Ventari teaches, hard ground makes stronger roots.
Okay, so it looks like I have to go challenge the Green Knight here. He's very fancy armor.
A knight in full armor. A attacking defenseless innocents? That isn't right. Why don't you fight me instead?
I'd love to. I've killed
I
many
don't know about
on my
that.
quest to find the exceptional individual who can defeat me. I doubt you're it, but we'll fight anyway.
Alright, so I guess we're fighting. Let's see if I can take him down, and I should be alright with my current level. I'm still unlocking the first skill attached to my shield, so I don't have that available yet. So I just basically have the symbol I can put on the ground to regenerate health. I've got my auto attack that you can see is running away from my symbol. So my auto attack and also protector strike here, which if I put up, will initiate this sort of guard around me, and that if he attacks, I immediately counterattack. If he doesn't wind up attacking, and I actually happen to be in a group, that would provide a protection buff to people around me, which is why the Guardian is a useful character to have in groups to keep people alive, to protect, and to also deal damage.
You did it, Valiant. You killed him.
He's not done yet, though. He's back. He's hitting me again. Apparently that was not enough. So I am back in the fight, and see if I can take him down this time. But, I mean, even though I said that about the Guardian's role in battle, you can see that I do have a heal, so if I am low on health, I'm not right now, I just kind of wasted it, but you do get heals for every single profession in the game. It's part of the way that ArenaNet is trying to kind of break down the traditional class roles in an MMO, so it's not strictly healer, tank, DPS. You have a little bit more versatility there. We'll see how that winds up playing out in the later game, whether it actually leads to a better dungeon experience, or whether the lack of very strictly defined roles leads to a kind of chaos that just winds up not being very fun. I don't know the answer to that yet. I mean, the nice part is that you should be able to pick up groups pretty easily, because kind of anyone can hop in and participate, and you should be alright. But if it just leads to a sense of you don't really know what you're doing, then I guess that's really not ideal. Okay, so I've taken Bersalak down once again. Let's see if that's good enough. And he's back up. Yes. It's pretty relentless, so I seem to be stunned here. And entangled in roots.
Good try.
And he's making fun of me.
For me, Weed. You did well enough that I'll leave you alive. For now. But I'll be back. The next time we fight, try to make it a real challenge. Or I'll make sure to finish what I started here today.
See, now why wouldn't he just kill me?
My deepest thanks. Eladis is everything to me. Your courage saved us both.
Who was that knight in the green armor? I saw him in my dream before I awoke. I recognized him as easily as if we'd met before.
Bersalak. He's terrible. He challenges young Silvari to duels and then fights them to the death. When Bersalak insulted my honor, Eladis had no other option. He loves me, after all.
That sounds like a cat taking advantage of mice. He's prideful and he's a bully. He deserves to be taught a lesson full of bruises.
That's it. The meaning of your dream. Like mice, young Silvari fight Bersalak with no hope of winning. But you are different, Valiant. You can do more than just throw yourself on his claws.
Perhaps I can help you after all. Bersalak is wooing a Valiant named Garwin. Unsuccessfully, I might add. She's been seen near Morgan's Spiral.
That is helpful, Dagdar. Thank you. I'll visit Gawain and ask for her story. Perhaps Bersalak told her a weakness I can use.
Okay, so it looks like I'm onto Bersalak's trail now, and I can pick a reward. I get power, precision, or I'll take vitality for my gloves and a salvage kit. Except, and a whole bunch of cool stuff happened. I can actually just exit these instance areas right here just by hitting that button, and go back out to the Grove, and I will head back out into the questing area and show off a little bit more of the questing and how the quest structures actually differ. So you can see in the story-driven cutscenes, you know, it's not necessarily just run around and do random stuff. They're very much directed, and the goals that you get actually vary quite a bit from what I've seen during the main story mission. So it doesn't really seem like they'll eventually start to get tedious. I hope that's not the case throughout the entirety of the game. At least early on, they seem to be pretty frequent and pretty diverse. On my way over to the next main questing area, I've encountered another quest giver NPC down here, and there's actually an event going on around him, so I am going to hop in and start taking part here. You can see I have these hounds that are kind of fighting these spiders, and what I need to do is, I think, keep the hounds alive, use repellent to protect the Sylvan hounds from spiders. So where is... oh, there's the repellent. Throw repellent. Damage pests and cleanse infested hounds. Okay, so I guess I need to throw these at hounds. Maybe? I'll do that while they're fighting over here. Start fighting. Okay. There we go. And I think that also damaged the spiders. Now I'm going to jump in here. Oh, I just learned my 4th skill here. The first one on attached to my shield. And what that does is blast out a wave of energy that I believe deals damage and also grants protection to myself and allies. Yet again, another way that the Guardian is useful in a group, with a bunch of people around to help keep them alive during battle. Kind of the paladin-style type, I suppose. Oh, we've got an infected hound here. I need to go... I'm not sure if I'm going to find anything in time. He's kind of... he's kind of SOL over there. Just going to keep fighting spiders. Oh, here we go. I found some repellent. Alright, so... oh, buddy! Use it over here. There we go. So I did cleanse some hounds. There are only 2 left alive, unfortunately. That wasn't a good use of that skill. But you can see while I'm doing this, I'm also gaining favor with the NPC in the area. Oh boy, I really need repellent now. Go back and get this stuff. It's alright. Yep. Oh, I saved 1. That's all I have left right now. And I'm supposed to... I've got about a minute remaining on this. I don't know if this is going to work. Oh, I've got some help here. Somebody came over. So now we're just questing together, so we didn't have to join a group. We didn't have to do anything. We're just sort of on this quest at the same time and making progress towards the same goal, which is a really nice system. It just helps to be cooperative with minimal fuss. And looks like I need some more repellent here. I throw it at that dog. Got 30 seconds left on this quest. Oh. Event failed. I thought I hit him with that. I guess maybe I just didn't do it fast enough. Oh, and I learned my 5th, Shield of Absorption, which is actually really cool. It blasts a dome around me that actually pushes back foes. And I believe has an effect on projectiles as well. Yeah, it absorbs projectiles. So, again, another way to keep myself and allies safe. And yeah, just help us survive longer during a fight. Now, I will go talk to this NPC here, because you do see a little bit of the quest variety I was talking about. Oh, my character's limping. Come on. I'm crippled. It hurts so badly right now, but it won't in a second. And it hurts, and it hurts, and... I'm fine. The magic of MMOs. So if I talk to this NPC, I can actually turn into a dog. Sounds exciting, sign me up. So now I'm a dog, and this is for questing as usual, in case that event wasn't there, but I do have a few unique attacks here, and this will happen throughout many different NPCs in different parts of the world where you will get these transformation effects. So I can bite at them, I can pounce, and I can howl, which terrifies enemies. You can see he's fleeing. And let's see if I can make the kill here. Super Sniffer. Sniff the air for a distinctive sense. See with your nose. I don't think I saw anything there. And then you can just shift back to your regular form. So I will do that, and I will run over to the next main questing area. And so here I am at the entrance to the next story area. You can see it's a recommended level 4. I'm a little bit under-leveled here, I'm level 3, but maybe I can make this. Maybe I can make this work. There's some pretty cool concept art here on the loading screen, but yeah, hopefully I can get through this so you can see the entirety of the quest and see, once again, how the quest structures do differ from quest to quest. You'll actually get a little bit of a tower defense style twist on questing here, which you can see as soon as this loads in addition to some more information on the dreaded Bersalak, who nobody really seems to like very much. You also get a more of a sense of the really cool environmental design in this game, which you can see here with these stones that are floating over in the background, and you can see this kind of spiral of water leading to what appears to be a spiral staircase heading up this floating rock zone that I guess may lead to this, or perhaps you can even jump across these stones here to get to a higher level. But yeah, and even this is quite different from where I was initially in the zone, and this isn't even the entirety of the zone at all. This zone is very, very big, and we haven't really seen much of it at all quite yet.
Excuse me, are you Gawain? I need to speak with you about a Sylvari named Bersalak.
Bersalak? He is a beast. He killed my beloved Evart. If you are his friend, then you are an enemy to me.
Just the opposite. Bersalak is attacking young Sylvari in the Grove, and I plan to stop him before anyone else gets hurt.
Oh, that's very different. You see, my love was killed in a duel with Bersalak, and now I guard Evart's grave. I wish only to mourn, but Bersalak plagues me with his lovesick mewling. I buried Evart here to get away from Bersalak, but even in Morgan's Spiral, I can find no peace. The Risen are everywhere, those horrible undead creatures. Even now, they're massing to swarm over this hill.
Bersalak is killing innocents. I must find a way to defeat him, to overcome whatever trickery has made him powerful. If you help me find a way, I'll help you guard Evart's grave.
You would? Oh, thank you. Yes, I'll gladly tell you everything I know. You see, Bersalak's armor... Wait, you hear that? Oh no, the Risen are coming. Quickly, prepare to fight!
Oh, what unfortunate timing. But that does tie into this quest goal, which is I need to defend this grave from incoming zombies. And how I do that is set up different mortars. So I have different types here that I get from Garwin, which I can set in the ground. So I actually have a healing type there. I have a blue mortar type, which will actually slow enemies, so very much like in a tower defense game. And this is a red mortar turret, which I think is just basic AoE damage. So I can set those up and hope that they help out. You can see that the healing turret is basically just keeping the other turrets alive, and there they are slowed once they're hit, and then thankfully the Guardian has a whole bunch of different AoE attacks to help power through these kinds of situations. And if I were fighting in a team, which I'm not, because I'm sort of just by myself in this story instance, it would help keep other people alive as well. Zombies are not having a good time against these turrets. There's another wave coming from over there. And another thing I haven't really gone over with the Guardian profession are these virtues that sit on top of my regular skill bar, F1 and F2. They basically give me passive effects, so you can see them over here, where every 5th attack will cause burning on enemies, and I'll also regenerate health as I'm fighting. And then I can consume those virtues, so I can consume the health one to regenerate, I can consume the virtue of justice here, so that my next attack will have a burning effect on it, and what that also does is it shares the effects with enemies, so another way that I'm more effective in a group by giving beneficial effects to everyone around me. You can see those guys are on fire, probably not too happy. Oh, I've gone down, but popped back up, because if you do kill someone while you're in that down state, you are revived back where you are, so you don't have to go back to a checkpoint or something like that. So I'm going to set up some more turrets. I'm going to set up another healing turret. Let's see, I will take another blue turret, so I have a lot of slows now. I should probably get some more direct damage, which I will set here. So I have 3 slows, 2 direct damages, 2 healing turrets that are just going about their business right there, making it easier for me to win. You can see the zombies are taking quite a bit of damage as they're incoming. They're also going directly for those turrets, so they know what's up. They're not stupid, and I should probably use some of my more advanced skills here to try to stay alive. There we go. A little bit of knockback there. These guys are almost dead. There they go. And yeah, hopefully these turrets can be knocked out, so if I'm not careful, the zombies will come in and wipe them all out, which is not good, because then in later waves I just do not have that assistance to help absorb damage, to help take them out more quickly. Another thing we haven't really seen yet, just because my character is so early level here, is the entire right side of the skill bar. Those are slot skills over there, so they will start unlocking as I level my character. This first one unlocks at level 5, and then 10, 20, and finally 30 for the elite skill slot over there. And I purchase those skills with skill points that you can earn through special challenges in the world and as you basically just progress your character. And those are not tied to weapons, so I can just have one of those equipped at a time. Obviously, as you can tell, I can't have every skill in the game equipped all at once. So I do have to pick and choose there and essentially build my character for, you know, whatever the situation happens to be, whatever's most effective at a particular time. And it looks like I've done all right here. I'm going to get a whole bunch more direct damage this time, I think, and place them near the healers. I'm going to set down another healing tree, and this is going to be the final wave, so hopefully I can make it through this one. I'll take one more, and that is also going to be direct damage. So I have 3 slows, 4 direct damage mortars, and 3 healers. I haven't lost any turrets so far, to the best of my knowledge, unless I missed something, in which case feel free to make fun of me in the comments. I seem to be doing alright here. Yeah, turrets are definitely helping out quite a bit.
How I miss your counsel.
But yeah, and the way this quest is set up, it doesn't really feel gimmicky or anything like that. Like this was an afterthought. You know, this actually works pretty well. I've played this quest where a bunch of my turrets have died, and it's definitely significantly more challenging. Of course, I could just over-level myself for the content. Here, I'm going to use a knockback. But if you do come in at the level recommendation, you know, it's pretty fun. I mean, it's challenging. And you really do have to pay attention to what you're doing, such as right now. I'm almost about to die, so I'm going to use my heal. There we go. And I still have the 3 blues. I have 4 reds in operation, and I still have the 3 healers. And this is the final wave. You can see these larger thralls in the background, and here we go, the veteran Risen Abomination. That is the guy I definitely want to avoid or kill. And my turrets are doing a pretty good job here of taking these guys out. I'm going to dodge backwards and let that guy dig into my turrets, because I do not want to fight him head-on. He is going to do a lot of damage to me up front. I'm just going to stand back here, and oh god, he found me. Nope. He's getting stuck on the turrets now. I'm going to dodge right away from him and let the turrets do the work. Yes, I would like to see more of those red ones flying, please. That's a miss, buddy. Alright. Okay, there he goes. See what he's got. A bone. Not the best.
What is it? There. My love can now rest easy, protected from the undead. As for Berserlac, he was always an exceptional fighter, but recently, he's grown invincible. After he slew Evart, my grief compelled me to duel him myself, and I lost. Instead of killing me, he demanded my pledge, insisting that I forget my true love. I could never find joy with a soulless tormentor like Berserlac. I'd sooner die and be laid to rest beside my dearest.
How do you think Berserlac became so powerful?
It's got to be his new armor. There's something different, something magical about it. It was forged by Occam, a smith near Bridget's Overlook.
And I'm off to find Occam. Thank you. It was an honor to fight at your side.
Okay, so great success. And once again, I get another reward. So I get a chest armor piece here. which I think I'm going to go with Vitality, except... And now I'm going to load up a little bit higher level characters so I can show off further into the zone some different areas and different quests. So here I am with a little bit higher level character. I'm level 7 right now, and I'm actually using a different weapon. I've unlocked the ability to swap between weapon sets, so I have a two-handed hammer, which has a couple cool abilities. One is this Mighty Blow is a combo finisher, so it will have a finishing effect if there is a combo field active nearby. Also deals damage. And then my auto attack will actually, it will deal damage, but it'll also place these protective symbols on the ground as part of it, so it's a nice kind of bonus effect there. Oops, my inventory is full. That's not good, but I'm not going to address that right now. And then I also have Zealot's Embrace here, which will send a wave toward my foe that immobilizes enemies along that line. But what I'm more interested in right now is this instance. This is a story instance where I've gone after the Armorer of Barcelak, and I haven't actually played this yet, so we'll see what happens. I also have a Sword of Justice here in one of my slot skills that I unlocked that gives me a friendly sword. Look at that guy. And I can command him to strike, which he did not do, I guess, at foes. So we'll see what happens in this story quest. This is all new to me, so I'm not sure what the outcome will be.
This is where the Nightmare Court is holding Occam. If we are to save him, Valiant, then we must hurry. And the court is very good at what they do.
Do you think they'll kill him? If they did that, then he wouldn't be able to make them any more suits of armor.
Kill? No. The court increased their numbers through deceit and corruption. They spread poison at the roots. Eventually he will listen to them, and then he will fall to their lies. It is the court's purpose to poison the Dream of Dreams, and thus corrupt the Pale Tree. The darkness we saw in your dream was one such attempt. They torture Sylvari, allowing the dream to absorb darker, more painful memories, both from themselves and from their prey.
Until he joins them just to make the pain stop. I see. We'd better get him out of their grasp immediately.
Agreed. Let's search the camp, and hope that Occam has been stalwart thus far. Search the camp, and do not be afraid. I will be as close as you.
Okay, so yeah, I'm looking for Occam. He is the person who is commissioned to create Bersalak's armor by this Nightmare Court, who are villains, in case you weren't able to piece that together. So I'm going to use my hammer on them, and maybe I can unlock another skill while I'm slamming them with a hammer. I definitely want to bring my sword into this fight as well. There's my line stun. Wow, that projectile actually went pretty far into the distance. What's cool is about when you do switch between weapons, how different the styles of fighting actually are. It's really interesting to see. So I greatly look forward to being able to unlock more weapon types, because I do have multiple weapon types available to me as a Guardian. And just find out all the cool different skill combinations I can have by switching between sets and then swapping in and out slot skills, which I can show off a little bit here. I don't have much unlocked. You can see they all cost skill points. There are various tiers to them, so you progress through slot skills and eventually to these elite skills down here, which are especially powerful. I've just basically unlocked this Sword of Justice skill here, which I'm going to use because it looks like there are a whole bunch of enemies here. So I'm going to break out my sword, and it's going to help out as I deal with all of these Nightmare Hounds. Drop a symbol on the ground. I'm back to my old weapon style here, but I can switch over if I want to. So now I'm right to the two-handed hammer, and I'm dead. And I'm back. I'm back in the fight. Maybe switching over to the hammer wasn't the best idea, so I don't actually have the full number of skills yet, although I do have Banishes almost unlocked here. I do have some help from my sword and my NPC helper.
Relish it.
Almost dead here. This NPC takes, or this enemy takes quite a bit of damage. There we go.
That's enough violence for now.
I don't know if I can actually use a scepter.
I'll set a trap for any who dare follow us. Slip out the back of the camp while they learn the error of their ways.
Alright, this is actually a little slow for these guys, so I'm going to switch to something that attacks a little more quickly. This apprentice is going to have to go down big time. Oh god. I'm going to have to heal myself, bring my sword back, set up a defensive perimeter, do an AoE attack there, and go back to my auto attack, maybe set a symbol on the ground to gain some health back. And see if I can locate this armor. I did not see him in these cells, so he's probably up this ramp, would be my guess. Chances are he is at... Oh, here we go. He's right here. And I'm getting attacked. I just need to break down his prison, apparently, and then I should be able to get in there. Okay, I'll swap back over to my other weapon. Miss! There we go.
Here to save me, I hope.
Occam? More bubbly than I'd expect for someone who's been tortured.
Them? Ha! Couldn't faze me. I knew someone would come. Left plenty of clues at the forge. Quickly now, and we'll go through the back, less guarded.
That's exactly what Keith suggested. How did you hear her talking from all the way over here?
Hear her? No. Simplest solution to the problem. Hurry. Courtiers will be here soon. I can forge a vine wall to keep them at bay, but you must move fast. As predicted,
The old vine wall escape. Can't believe they weren't expecting that one. Alright, Occam. Let's do this. Oh my god, he's forging a vine wall. It's happening. There's so many hounds over there. Let's go. Why are you standing there? Are you waiting? You're waiting. I should go. That's my fault. Let's go, Occam.
we need to keep running.
Yes, we do.
This way, down the waterfall. Wait for it.
I can't move. It's a trap.
Requisite, it's a trap line. Confirmed. That was a pretty good trap.
Nice explosion.
I have to ask, Occam, why did you make Val in the armor? Didn't you know she was of the Nightmare Court?
I knew, but she threatened me. Said they'd break my hands, leave me useless, take away my purpose and my joy. Still, once I saw what they'd done with my masterwork, ugh, disgusting. I should have thrown myself from the cliffs.
No, the lesson here isn't so simple. There are many strands in this tapestry, and yours is only one. Now that you are safe, we deal with Berserlac. Tell us, does your armor have a weakness?
Yes, to forge the armor, it had to be vulnerable to my smithing tools. My hammer made it, my hammer can destroy it.
Valiant, I propose that we use this information and challenge Berserlac to a duel. Then use the smith's hammer as your weapon, and smash him to paste.
Sounds good. I bet Berserlac would come for certain if he received an invitation from Gawain. Keith, talk to her and arrange the fight. Occam, bring your hammer. We'll hold the duel at Marbon Market. I want as many witnesses as possible when Berserlac falls.
Okay, so I'm not actually going to go any further in the main quest than this. That's about the edge of it. Oh my god. That's about to the edge of the story content that I'm going to show off here. But hopefully it gives you a sense of, if you do follow the main storyline, there actually is pretty strong narrative threads throughout that, you know, at least in this early area, paint a definite villain and give you reason to go after that villain, pursue him, dislike him, and, you know, and feel something for him. I don't know how that's going to continue through the rest of the experience. And, of course, you can break up the pacing of that by traveling around within zones, which are enormous. As you can see, a kind of different area of the 1 to 15 starting zone that I've been in for the Sylvari here, this beach area. But yeah, you can break up the pace of those main missions by going off and questing for the various heart NPCs that are all over the place, which I probably should have been doing more of anyway to boost my level. And then, of course, you do that to unlock more parts of new weapons you find and gain materials to use for crafting and to just powering yourself up in general, because you do get the loot drops, the loot from the enemies, so that you can get better stuff on your character, which I don't really have right now. I have kind of crappy stuff, and I would like to have better stuff. And also, the skill challenges are pretty important so that you can unlock more slot skills as you level. I don't know if I have any available, but they look like this on the map. These skill point challenges where you basically run up and either you'll just discover something or fight something or have to perform some special task at these things, and then you do earn additional skill points. And here's a little bit more of the zone. Pretty interesting. I don't know what is in that hut, but I would like to, so perhaps I will go over there. But that's a brief look at the initial starting experience for the Sylvari. Much more to the game, many more races, a lot more content that will be shown off on IGN as the approach to the release date for Guild Wars 2 nears, which is August 28th. So for a lot more on Guild Wars 2, you can keep checking back with IGN.